Welcome guys to the second installment in the zone-to-zone trading system. In the last video, we had drawn out the zones. We had discussed what zones do and how to put them on the chart. In this one, we are going to see how to use them to exactly trade. So we discussed how zones are these areas on the chart where price usually sees a reaction. Now, given that we already know what levels are important, we should be able to trade based on it. And how we're going to do is, right now we're going to discuss how to trade based on daily zones, okay? So what I'm going to try to do is trade from one daily zone to the next. Now, we already discussed that larger time frame zones are important, more important. So on the same chart, if I have daily zones, I should also have weekly and monthly zones. In our case, right now, weekly should do. We don't really need the monthly zones, but usually it's good to have them. Now, what we are going to do is we are trying to trade from one daily zone to the next. In that case, our entries and exits will be determined on the hourly chart. All right. So if we're trying to trade from one daily zone to next, what we want to look for on the hourly chart is some form of consolidation around the zone and a break out of that consolidation. What do I mean by that? I mean some form of box, some form of sideways movement around that zone. So in this case, for example, you have this daily zone, right? Price came around 405.65. We know it's a daily zone. What should we look for there? On the hourly chart, we should look for a sideways consolidation, something like this. Now, if price breaks higher from this consolidation, we know this zone ended up acting as a support and price will likely go higher to the next zone. If price had broken lower from this consolidation, then we know that the path of least resistance is now lower to the next daily zone below around 390. I hope that distinction is clear. We have this consolidation around this zone where price leaves this consolidation, gives us an entry in order to take the journey to the next zone. All right, let's look at more examples. Okay, so in this case, price came back to this zone, again, a daily zone. Now we don't know if this zone will act as support or if price will go lower. So we wait for a consolidation. Once price leaves that consolidation, the path of least resistance is higher. The path price is most likely to take is higher. In this case, price came back and retested the zone one more time, but never really broke below and finally ended up going higher to the next daily zone. In this case again, price had this consolidation. It did try to break below in this case. So our trade would have been lower and our stop would have been right at the bottom of this consolidation. You can also put the middle of this consolidation. That's a tighter stop. It's safer. But in this case, we would have got stopped out. And once price broke above this consolidation, we could have gone long, aka bought SPY to ride it to the next zone above. All right. So this is the basis of how I do my zone to zone trading. Okay. If I'm trading from one daily zone to the next, I'm looking for entries on the hourly chart. If you're trading intraday, okay, if you're trading from one hourly zone to the next, you look for entries in 5 minutes or 15-minute charts. Same concept. You look for a consolidation around an hourly zone and then take the break out of that consolidation. So that gives you what? Your entry criteria. Okay. Your entry criteria is look for a consolidation around the zone and then take the break out of that. You stop, right? Your exit criteria, you can put your stop either in the middle of this consolidation or at the bottom of this consolidation. So in this case, for example, if price broke higher, and your stop is at the bottom of this consolidation below this daily zone, then that's your exit parameters. In this case, it didn't get hit. You would have gone all the way to the next daily zone. In this case, when price broke lower from this consolidation, you would have gone short and your stop would have been right here above this box. In this case, you would have got stopped out and then you could have gone long once price broke above this consolidation and went to the next zone. So you have your entry parameters and your exit parameters. Those are the two basic requirements of a system and you just got them here. Okay, the last thing is risk management, and that you have to figure out on your own. That I can't do it for you. But this is how zone to zone trading works on the daily zones. Similar thing. All right, let's look at this. If I went on the daily charts, I would say 400 is also a daily zone. Let me just look at it real quick, but I'll show you guys. 400 also plays an important part multiple times, which is why I would add a daily zone here. You can see acted as resistance, acted as support, and this is all on the daily charts. Acted as resistance, and so on. Multiple times, okay? Acted as resistance once price went above it. Obviously, it's not as clean. Maybe it's a 4-hour chart, I would not be sure. But I just wanted to mark important levels where price seems to keep reacting. That way I don't get bamboozled. Anyways, consolidation around it, went to the next zone. Consolidation around it. Okay, you want to keep looking for this. This is going to happen time and time again, right? You're going to have a consolidation around a zone, and then price is going to choose a direction. What direction it chooses gives you your entry. Consolidation around the daily zone, broke below it, we went to the next daily zone below. All right, here the opposite. We had consolidation at this daily zone, price broke higher, and then went to the next daily zone above. You see? What do I mean by consolidation? It simply means sideways price action. You can call it a box, you can call it whatever, right? Just means sideways price action. And then once price broke above the sideways price action, went to the next daily zone above. So that's the basis of zone to zone trading. Okay, your time frame for daily zones, I will look for hourly charts for entry and exits. For hourly zones, I will look for 5-minute or 15-minute chart for entry and exits. Like that's it. That's the whole concept. Now, one thing I guess I will give it to you guys is sometimes in this kind of trading, you can look for setups or consolidations and might start over trading. All right. One metric that I use to filter out some of my trades is the simple moving average. I use the simple moving average. My setting is a 50. And I would say this. If you guys don't know what a 50 moving average is, it simply means that it's simply the average price of the last 50 candles. I think I described it in the beginner series. But what I want to say is I would only long the way I save myself from over trading on intraday. All right. Hourly zones are a bit different, but on intraday is I only long above 50 moving average and I only short below it. And when you're trading on the 5-minute chart where there's a lot of noise, that can save you a lot of headache. On the hourly charts, it does not matter that much because price is a lot cleaner. But if you're intraday trading, zone to zone, all right, you're trading hourly zones on 5-minute charts, this thing can save you from a lot of false breakouts. Just using this as a filter, long above 50 MA and only short below 50 MA. Okay, that's it for how to trade zones, guys. And starting next video, we're going to jump to the box system. If you have any questions, just ask them in the group.